So we'll start this whole thing up. Like, good to see everybody here. So we're continuing through the book of Revelation right now, and we have been kind of going through it. We saw the seven churches, and the seven churches. I think are kind of mean for they're kind of all for us like that. They're kind of all like the churches are kind of all of us, all the churches and all that. And then we kind of get into after that it kind of reveals what the plot is that there's all this grand majesty of the kingdom of God. And when we look through all that grandness, you see a lamb that is on the throne. And then after we kind of see that, and you see, so that's how the kingdom of God kind of works, is in the midst of all this grandness, you end up seeing the lamb that is on the throne. Let's see here. Come on. And so that's kind of what we end up seeing there. And then we're kind of brought into where we start seeing some scary stuff, and some of the scary stuff is those four horsemen of the apocalypse, and I think it's inviting us to go look at it all, and I think in the scriptures, especially the Hebrew scriptures, it really goes out of its way for us to look at it. Like we talked about it with Judges, like the way the whole book of Judges works is that many times we're looking for like righteous things. Well, the Hebrew scriptures are often has like, don't look away from the sin and the destruction and all this stuff. And it seems like that even Jesus kind of gets upset at the Pharisees because they're looking away from the suffering that is around them, right? Like that's still a thing that we struggle with. That we don't want to look at the bad that is around us, right? Because oftentimes that messes with our narrative. And so you have this saying, look at all this bad stuff. Look at it. Don't look away. And then we have these, and we end up having these, we're up to these seven seals, which is, part of all this stuff, this great tribulation, all that stuff. And so then we're in the seventh seal here in chapter 8. Now we read chapter 8 last week, and we got through a lot of it. But we'll read chapter 8 again and then get on to chapter 9. Did anyone have any other thoughts in the summary there before we go on?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Gloria reminds me that...
Speak to be heard.
Yeah. Gloria reminds me that to appreciate Revelations, you need to have understood what happened before. My view is it's all derivative. And I find myself having to go to previous books to say, oh, that's what they're talking about. It is, for me, it's reading the last chapter of a book with no understanding of what came before. So for those of you who have got experienced eyes, it's not a big deal. For me, it's happening.
Well, it depends upon what book you're reading, too. Like if you get in the Gospels, those Gospels are talking about 30 years before Jesus even goes into ministry. Mm-hmm. And you've got, 5 chapters that tells, his genealogy, he was born, and then he's goes away with the devil. Then he comes and he starts his ministry. But they're talking about 30 years in those chapters.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful, how you're looking at the chapter before, too.
Yeah. Where are the gospel writers spending time? And that's usually like what's important going on, right? Like that's, and it's also important to remember what's important to Hebrew people during this time. That's why we kind of looked at Daniel, but we have the other prophets, but also like the Exodus is something that's really important, and all these different things, all these ideas that are going forward. So yeah, so we're looking at all of this. Was there anything else? Okay. Let us then read. Let's see, so share sound, select for video. All right, here we go. Chapter 8.
When he opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven for about half an hour. And I saw the seven angels who stand before God, and to them were given seven trumpets. Then another angel, having a golden censer, came and stood at the altar. He was given much incense that he should offer it with the prayers of all the saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne. And the smoke of the incense with the prayers of the saints ascended before God from the angel's hand. Then the angel took the censer, filled it with fire from the altar, and threw it to the earth. And there were noises, thunderings, lightning, and an earthquake. So the seven angels who had the seven trumpets prepared themselves to sound. The first angel sounded, and hail and fire followed, mingled with blood, and they were thrown to the earth. And a third of the trees were burned up, and all green grass was burned up. Then the second angel sounded, and something like a great mountain burning with fire was thrown into the sea. And a third of the sea became blood, and a third of the living creatures in the sea died, and a third of the ships were destroyed. Then the third angel sounded, and a great star fell from heaven, burning like a torch. And it fell on a third of the rivers and on the springs of water. The name of the star is Wormwood. A third of the waters became wormwood, and many men died from the water, because it was made bitter. Then the fourth angel sounded, and a third of the sun was struck, a third of the moon, and a third of the stars, so that a third of them were darkened. A third of the day did not shine, and likewise the night. And I looked, and I heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice,
Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, because of the remaining blasts of the trumpet of the three angels who are about to sound.
All right. So let us catch up to kind of where we were last time. Kind of what stands out to you here in chapter 8?
Third,
Do what?
a third of everything is destroyed. So I'm wondering what the symbolism of that is that on the earth, like a third of the stars,
Yeah.
a third of the ships, whatever at all, I can't remember all what they said.
Yeah.
A third of
Yeah.
everything was destroyed.
Is a third an emoji as you describe them?
I would say so. Like a third, I mean, it's definitely part of that 3 kind of number there. And it's a third. It's kind of funny because it's not a 7, it's not a 10 like that. It's not everything, but it's a lot of something. And I think, so what do you think it could mean with it being like that third? What do you think we're supposed to get from that? I don't have a good answer. Yeah. Or just like, what I mean by that is like, how does it make you feel? Like that. That's like where is it putting you in a headspace?
Am I in the third?
Are you in the third? Interesting.
Or am I in the 2/3?
Like that's
Or is there a value that has been made that the remaining 2/3 are worth redemption?
no. Well, maybe. Well, and so that's an interesting view. Yeah, is I remember one of the times when some scripture hit me hard was the Sodom and Gomorrah narrative, and that Abraham keeps talking God down. God's like, I'm going to destroy this. He's like, well, for
How many
how
before you won't?
many before it gets down there, and it gets down to 1 and all that stuff. And the way it struck me, and the Mick is just how he put it, is over there, is that's opposite to what you usually hear today. What you usually hear today from the followers of God are all about how God should destroy all this, right? And here Abraham was like speaking up for it, and God was kind of listening. And it's just that was a juxtaposition that kind of had me slow down. So I like that. I think we can fall into that trap of being like, oh man, everything's just getting destroyed, which a lot of stuff is, but there's two-thirds, which may be worth it, which is kind of an interesting, I like it because there's a silver lining amongst all the muck and the mire.
What you can save instead of what you
Yeah.
destroy.
Yeah.
And that's what motivated me to comment, because I'm looking for the silver lining.
Silver linings. Like and I'm not sure if that's the right way to look at it or not, but that is a silver lining look. And I think you remember the point of Revelation is to give silver lining, like to give comfort to Christians that are in the midst of struggle. Like right now, struggle under the Roman Empire. We're going to see some of that pretty blatantly next chapter. And so that's I think is pretty good. But it's also, I think it's inviting us to look at all this. Like, yeah, this is all kind of being destroyed and all that. So
Is the destruction from, where does the destruction come from, do you think, in this? Is it from heaven or is it from man-made?
so
The idea of losing a third of the people or a third of all this, did we cause it or did God cause it?
So to me, and this is where Ed and I disagree just a little bit, but our disagreements aren't that vast of a disagreement. He's comparing it to Jericho, like, which I think is valid. It's I compare it to the Exodus account with the plagues, like, because it sounds like the plagues. The number is not right, but it's sure like things are turning to blood and all that stuff. And I can't get off, and I should have done more study on it this week, so I'm speaking blind out of here. But verse 10, and it says, the third angel sounded, and a great star fell from heaven. So I did look up what the main god of Rome is. Does anyone remember what the main god of Rome?
No.
It's the equivalent to Zeus in Greece. It's Jupiter. Jupiter is that. Now, they viewed stars differently than we do now and stuff like that. It's a planet, but when you look in the sky and you can see Jupiter, it's standing out, and it's, you can see it, and it looks like a star, even though it's just reflecting light off the sun.
So that's still not saying that's God. It might be saying their gods or their empire stuff is destroying. Is the third that's destroying.
Like, yeah. Well, like
The Roman
it's
Empire.
The Roman Empire
Empire
is destroying that third kind of.
so I think it could be kind of both. Like that's I think I see what you're saying, and I'm uncomfortable with making like, yes, this is kind of what, like,
Maybe.
this is who's doing the destruction
Right,
here,
okay.
type of thing. I think it's compared to a phrase that I've said for a while, that is connected to it. It's lightly connected to it, but be careful what you wish for. You just might get it, and that's really coming at a. There's another phrase I used to say a lot, that it's like, I don't believe in karma, but it's amazing how things work out. And that's that. Those, I think that those phrases aren't that disconnected from here, where it could be this godly hand, but they are creating it too.
Creating it on their own.
Yeah.
By their action.
And then think about, like, if this great star that's falling, and I don't know. I like this theory, so I'm sticking to it. And also it jives with chapter 9. If it is like Jupiter, which is this god of Rome, and it's falling and it's causing pestilence all over the place, and causing bitterness and all of that stuff. Because I think what you're getting on here is like famines. It's very rare that famines are caused naturally.
Right.
Famines are usually caused by geopolitical distress, right? Like that's generally where what causes famines.
Oh.
Yeah. And so
It sounds like the devil's work to me.
yeah, like that's and I think that devil and that's what we're saying here is that there's this interconnected type of thing, but it's also wrapped up in all these plagues that sound either like Jericho or like Exodus, where things are falling down and God's kind of got his hand in all that stuff too. So Pam, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I just looked up real quick the AI overview on the phone.
Yeah.
Not that it's right, but 1/3 often signifies a substantial, though not total, level of destruction or judgment during the end
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Used to describe the impact of the various plagues and calamities, just like what you said, indicating the severity of God's wrath, while also suggesting a measure of mercy and the potential for repentance. And it says the 1/3 is not literally, but symbolically.
Yeah. That's good.
And it fits everything you guys said.
Yeah. And so like I think that, you have the silver lining in this is that
Mhm.
like there's room for redemption, or there's room for
The lamb.
yeah. So then let's see here. Fourth trumpet. Let's see. Did you're pointing at something? Did you want to say something?
Yeah, to respond to attribution. You said it's generally the work of the devil, whereas the text seems to only attribute the devil messing around with the waters of the world. Where is it? Wormwood. The name of the star is Wormwood. The devil, a third of the waters became contaminated or tainted with wormwood. So maybe I'm picking a nit, but it seems to indicate that it's not all attributable to one source. The devil's playing his part.
The war,
Mm-hmm.
conflict, yeah.
And wormwood is this word that kind of means bitterness too. Like so that's you can't separate that meaning out of all of this.
A small little thing.
Yeah.
I was just researching a little about wormwood. And it's used in today for medication also.
Okay.
But enough of wormwood is poisonous.
Okay.
So a certain amount of it is usable, but then an over amount.
Well, that's kind of how anything is, right?
Too much of a good thing.
Yeah.
There you go.
You drink too much water, like
You drown.
like that. That's
You do.
like that. And so that'll.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. So let's see here. Then you have fourth angel sounded, and a third of the sun was struck, third of the moon. It's kind of funny, a third of the sun, right? Like a third of the stars, so that they were all darkened. A third of the day did not shine, and likewise the night. So again, you kind of have this, heavenly body type of thing. Yeah, all the celestial stuff. And then there's like this voice of this heavenly messenger, this angel, this flying in the midst of the skies. It's like that
was the eagle.
Saying, oh yeah, that's right, the eagle.
That was the
eagle. So that's right. Because that eagle language, that's really different than angel, isn't it? That's
Rome.
because then if that symbolizes Rome, and then
and a vulture.
Yeah, and a vulture and all that stuff. Because if that symbolizes Rome, then that fits with earlier when they were hiding out in the caves, going whoa, whoa, whoa. Like that's.
We're in trouble.
Yeah, we're in trouble. That's in trouble. Yeah,
That's kind of what they say too. He's in trouble because the wrath of the Lamb is on you.
Yeah.
Or on us.
Yeah.
Is what it says.
That they can see all this stuff
It's
like happening all around them. Yeah. And so let's see here. So then, woe to the inhabitants of the earth because of the remaining blast of the trumpet. And they're about to sound.
After that.
Okay, so Anyone have anything on chapter 8 there they want to talk about? All right, let's go on to chapter 9. Let's go to chapter 9. Here we go.
Then the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fallen from heaven to the earth. To him was given the key to the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and smoke arose out of the pit like the smoke of a great furnace. So the sun and the air were darkened because of the smoke of the pit. Then out of the smoke locusts came upon the earth, and to them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. They were commanded not to harm the grass of the earth, or any green thing or any tree, but only those men who do not have the seal of God on their foreheads. And they were not given authority to kill them, but to torment them for 5 months. Their torment was like the torment of a scorpion when it strikes a man. In those days, men will seek death and will not find it. They will desire to die, and death will flee from them. The shape of the locusts was like horses prepared for battle. On their heads were crowns of something like gold, and their faces were like the faces of men. They had hair like women's hair, and their teeth were like lions' teeth. And they had breastplates like breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was like the sound of chariots with many horses running into battle. They had tails like scorpions, and there were stings in their tails. Their power was to hurt men 5 months. And they had as king over them the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, but in Greek he has the name Apollyon. One woe is past. Behold, still 2 more woes are coming after these things. Then the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar which is before God, saying to the sixth angel who had the trumpet,
Release the 4 angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates.
So the 4 angels who had been prepared for the hour and day and month and year were released to kill 1/3 of mankind. Now the number of the army of the horsemen was 200 million. I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision. Those who sat on them had breastplates of fiery red, hyacinth blue, and sulfur yellow. And the heads of the horses were like the heads of lions. And out of their mouths came fire, smoke, and brimstone. By these 3 plagues, 1/3 of mankind was killed. By the fire and the smoke and the brimstone which came out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails are like serpents, having heads, and with them they do harm. But the rest of mankind, who were not killed by these plagues, did not repent of the works of their hands, that they should not worship demons and idols of gold, silver, brass, stone, and wood, which could neither see, nor hear, nor walk. And they did not repent of their murders, or their sorceries, or their sexual immorality, or their thefts.
All right. I was writing down there at the end.
That was another toe tapper.
Yeah. Powerful. Yeah. Okay, so then the 5th angel sounded, and I saw a star falling from heaven to the earth. Like, so again, we have like this star falling from heaven to the earth, and this one was given to the key to the bottomless pit, and I opened the door, and the smoke comes out, and there's darkness, and I think you're really given here a like horror movie picture. You don't think so? Like that's it's
Every day.
yeah every day every day like that. That's I think you're given this real and that's kind of what stood out to me, because there are those that will seek death but they can't find it. That is a horror idea. That's.
I think that's kind of where burning in hell came from.
Oh, could be. Like that's just a kind of
Smoke.
eternal torment type of
Smoke
type of
coming
idea.
out of the bottom of it.
Like that's and it also says that they're not told to harm the grass or the trees or any green thing.
A third of them are already gone.
Yeah. Which that's interesting. That's interesting. I don't know if this plays into it, but what's created on the fifth day of creation?
All the green things.
Yeah.
Everything green?
Is it all the green things? I can't remember.
Mom, you know. Come on.
Off the top of my head.
Let's see here. No, that's birds. Never mind. Pay no mind. That was day 3. And so I should have known that. I should have.
Yeah. We're disappointed.
You should be. You should be.
Animal life.
Yeah. Animal.
Animal.
Yeah.
Right.
The birds of the air
Monsters
and
and
fish.
everything.
Yeah.
Fish.
Sea creatures and all that stuff. Remember that
Yeah.
island?
Birds of the air.
Once again, I am amused at the specificity. Only 5 months.
Yeah, what's the 5 months? What do you think?
Well, if I can, we're dealing with the number 5, so now you can really have a playground.
Mhm.
The number 5 can be death. It could be God's grace. But 5 months. So is God providing 5 months of graciousness or 5 months of death? That's enough for God.
Yeah. I don't know what the 5 months means. Like that's but we see locusts come upon it, which again sounds like the plagues of Egypt. And this is also there's some stuff coming up here which I think is very important for us to see and understand, because I think this is laser targeted at Rome through this guise of Exodus, like in Egypt, like all that stuff. So you have the shape of these locusts are like horses prepared for battle, which is quite the imagery. And they have faces like men, hair like women's, teeth like lions. They got all these breastplates. This is another great one. Like their wings sound like the sound of chariots.
Did you ever hear this? This is an example of an airplane with fire coming out the end.
Yeah.
Was that in the news?
Yeah.
Place Planet Earth or something like book.
Electric.
They brought that up as this was actually more modern, and it wasn't locust.
Yeah.
Just a picture of modern destruction.
Yeah.
Like we see nowadays.
Well, like, and you can imagine being in one of these towns that Rome takes over, and Rome's like, we'll bring you peace, and imagine you're sitting in a town, which the towns are usually elevated a little bit or something like that, and you can hear the chariots coming, like you can imagine you just imagine in a war-torn region, like that's the stories that are told about what it all sounds like. Like when you listen to people talking in war-torn regions now, they talk about what the bombs sound like coming. Like when people would talk about the missiles. When people would talk about in World War II when the bombing in London, what that meant. It's like that's kind of. That language is being used here, and I think we see that with, like this locust sounds like a chariot. It's like, oh, it all of a sudden sounds like the tank of that time, like that. It's coming. I mean, it's scary. Like this whole image is incredibly scary, and they had tails like scorpions, which you want to stay away from the tail of a scorpion. Like that's the one. Yeah, you don't want to mess with them. And
That 5 months that you're talking about, that it would go on for 5 months. And Nick, the verse 6, In those days, men will seek death and will not find it. They'll
Yeah.
desire to die. So it's got to be a bad thing for them.
Yeah.
I mean, a horrible thing that they don't even want to survive it.
Yeah.
And they can't.
And that's connected to I think that eagle saying, whoa, 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 like that's, they're, like that's over there. They even, they can't imagine how bad it is over there. There's all this interesting thing. And then, this is the end of verse 10. Like their power was to hurt men for 5 months. We get that 5-month verse again.
Yeah.
And they had a king over them, and it says the angel. What does the other translation say there? I'm suspect of the word angel.
Angel.
Is it angel? Okay.
What verse?
Verse 11. 9:11.
It says the angel of the abyss.
Yeah.
Mine is angel here, but I wonder what this one's.
So remember, angel kind of means messenger and all that stuff, right? So they had a king over them, the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew is Abiddon, but in Greek his name is Apollyon. Who is that? That sounds like Apollo. That seems like a direct thing. All right, so let's talk about this. Who is Apollo? And who is Apollo according to early Christians? That's so Apollo is one of the gods of Rome, right? Like all those things. Nero and Caesar Augustus both claimed Apollo, like that they had Apollo characteristics in and of themselves. Like that's, I was looking this up beforehand, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." Like that. That's wow. So that they claimed like that God kind of for themselves. That he was the Caesar in this region. There was like, Apollo is me type of idea going on there. So you think about that then, and everything that we've been saying that this angel, let's say it's this Apollon, right over here, right, and that the Caesars would have been recognizing themselves as this as well. So it's almost like this direct assault on the power on the power of Rome that is kind of causing this, but is also inflicting it on themselves. Like that's kind of a weird thing I'm saying, but
The king acting like a beast to their people.
I think so, because you have these like their sound is like chariots. Like think about what you know. Think about what you know about good old Chuck Heston being Ben-Hur, like or Chuck Heston being Moses and Egypt's chariots are going after him, right? Like think about what you know about warfare and all that stuff from this time, and it all kind of brings in together. But there's this complicated like vision that are given where we're seeing that the one that's over this is actually more in common with like
Beastly.
yeah, kind of like maybe Nebuchadnezzar. The Nebuchadnezzar is turned beastly. I don't know if I'm making any sense here. It's all just like faint images and stuff.
But it plays into the idea of Pax Romana because the Romans put everybody down in battle in order to subdue them. And I think that image is coming out in this.
Yes, I wrote peace here next to
There
it.
you go.
I wrote peace next to verse 11. Like that's that they are pulling everyone down in the name of peace. You will have peace.
The readers of this would have known or would have perceived or felt pressure coming from Rome and would have related that, I would think, that direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Forced peace.
Yeah, the forced peace. Like, and that's like, you hear any of these Babylons in the world today, when they are trying to conquer, it's, oh, we're just trying to create peace by bombing the mess out of it. You know, like that's, like, we see this all today. Like, this is all happening, and like, in by that Apollo reference, Apollo, yeah, like that's like, I think that's really, I think you can, I think there's some, yeah, well, you have Apollo, and it sounds like it. Yeah, Apollyon, and I think it's playing a game. It's like doing wordplay. I think it's doing wordplay, and
Isn't it, I know it's not that, but not to harm the grass on the earth. What is that about? Not to harm the grass.
I think to not harm the creation. I think it's not to harm the creation. Yeah, which is opposite of what the locusts usually do. You know, which the locusts kill all the trees and the plants.
The retribution is measured. Everything is measured.
It's a good way to put it.
Well, I'm going to take a third. Leave the grass alone. My wrath is measured.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I have hope for those. who
Well, leave
remain.
something,
Yeah.
a remnant.
So we have all these plagues kind of falling onto here, and then we're introduced to the sixth angel, and it sounded, and all that stuff. This, I thought, was the most. It really comes in at the end of the chapter, but this sounds the most like Pharaoh to me, like this. The sounds. So we'll get through it. So, starting with verse 13, what kind of stood out to you guys, you know, in this section here, connected to the one group? Like, we got, I don't know what to do with a lot of the numbers or anything like that. Or at least the four angels who are bound at the great Euphrates.
Armies, right?
Yeah.
Those are some kind of armies.
And they're released to kill a third of the mankind. You got that third number again. And the number of the army of the horsemen was 200 million, which that's kind of funny. Is that the number in the other English translations?
No, they do arithmetic. 10 times 10 times 10.
Oh, they do 10 times 10 times 10.
The number of mounted troops, twice 10,000 times 10,000.
Oh, see, that reads different than 2 million.
Yeah, it does. 200 million.
So, all right, let's look it up. All right, what verse is that? 15? 16. Let's look it up. Hold on one second. Let's see, let me get there. Oh, I gotta. 9, 16. All right, now let me bring Zoom over. Share. Okay. Let me get rid of this progressive ad. And so, all right, yeah. So like the twice 10,000, 10,000s. So like that's what it is in the Greek. Yeah.
Mine says 200,000 though.
Okay. So the New King James did the math for us. But I think by doing the math.
This one says 2 million.
2 million.
Oh, yours says 2 million? The NIV there? So I think.
200 million.
Yeah. I think.
Average.
I don't think.
What Bible are you
It's
using?
just, it does say 200
This
million.
was I thought this was
It doesn't-
King
just
James
a lot,
also.
a lot.
What are you gonna do about 100 million?
Is it New King James or is
Must
it?
be a New King James.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Does yours say that?
Mine says 200 million.
This one's NIV.
NIV says 200 million.
ESV makes you work.
So
for it.
ESV, so in one of the few characteristics, I think the ESV is actually doing the work here. I think the translation is much better when it's making you look at the 10,000 number. Yeah, like that's because that's the 200 million, that means nothing in English. You know, like that, like, well, not in Hebrew. It's a lot of people. But when you say twice 10,000 and 10,000s, like 10,000, thousands and all that stuff, those are numbers that mean something to us. And it has this all-encompassing idea that is happening here. Okay, all right,
The
cool.
Chinese must have a 200 million.
So, and then hold on.
It's still a lot, like Ben said.
I think 10,000 sounds better.
Yeah, exactly. Armies of cavalry. Okay, yeah. So let's stop sharing now. Okay, all right. And then, so let's see here. So we see that there's still a ton of people, but I think that thematic approach of seeing how the numbers are used really helps us out with this stuff. Just a huge number. I saw the horses in the vision. Let me see. So we have like red, blue, and yellow. I don't know what to make with those colors.
Fire red, hyacinth, and sulfur yellow.
Yeah.
I've got sapphire in here.
Sapphire.
We have a blue horse.
Mine just is dark blue.
Hyacinth.
And
Sapphire, sulfur.
sapphire, sulfur, and red.
Sorted.
And so and the horses' heads were like lions, and out of their mouths came fire, smoke, and brimstone. So that doesn't seem very good, you know. And these three plagues killed a third of mankind, you know. Like again, we have that third number.
We actually use plagues in there too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and and it came out. The brimstone came out of their mouth. For the power in their mouth and on their tails, for their tails are like serpents, having heads. With them they do harm. And let's see here. But the rest of mankind who were not killed by these plagues did not repent of the works of their hands.
Reliably stupid.
So like
They've just had hellfire rain down upon them and they still don't get it.
and I think we're getting at some of the point here. Like and that sounds like the Exodus account too. You know, that's kind of localized in Pharaoh there, but you're kind of seeing this, that everything falls apart, and yet they still didn't repent from it. Like I think you're kind of getting, and I think this is asking us, like, don't look away from it. Don't look away. Don't look away from this truth.
This is exactly opposite to my earlier comment about the hope of redemption. There's no hope of redemption. It's just the opposite.
Not for that remnant.
Well, not there.
Not there, but maybe even amongst all of this unrepentance there is still hope for redemption. Like it's all looks like it's bad.
Sounds like the golden calf at the base of the mountain.
Oh, yeah, that's good imagery. Like that, so God is talking to Moses on top of the mountain, getting commandments and all that stuff.
All I can say is, I went to the movies when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
and he comes back and he throws the commandments at him, like, because they're having like, they make this golden calf out of all their wealth that they took out of Egypt with them, and they're having like a big old raging party down there, which is funny. And Moses throws the commandments at him.
Yeah, but then he has to go back up and start over again.
And he has to go back up and start over again. That's when there were 15 commandments. You know, it's like, yeah. These 15 10.
Keep in mind, he's the first person to download from the cloud.
Yeah. I think you're kind of seeing here what's what's going on. They all have all these hard hearts happening here. Did anyone have anything else they would like to say before we read 10? We're actually going to get to 10 today.
Just that plague is in there. The word plague.
The plague is in there. Yeah.
Verse 18.
And I think that's a definite callback so we don't forget to that Exodus account. Like it's like we're hinting at all these things. Nothing goes 1-to-1, but that we're hinting at all this stuff.
The only thing that haunts me a little bit about this, and it goes to something Nick said too, is it says the rest of mankind that were not killed by the plagues still did not repent, which to me says nobody repented when he says the rest of mankind.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then there is no hope.
Well,
If nobody repented at this point.
Yeah.
What?
we haven't read it all yet.
Well, I understand. It's just saying, that's what bothers me
At
here.
that point, it's hopeless.
It's hopeless.
Looks hopeless.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because we've had some mighty fearful imagery that's going on where people are begging for death and it doesn't come. Again, it sounds like horror movies, It looks hopeless. It's like all the tropes of all the different horror movies. Like they're trying to run from the killer. They run into the barn that has all the sharp knives in it.
Right behind the chainsaws.
Yeah. Chainsaws are already going and stuff like that. Like it feels kind of like that.
Last Man Standing. You ever seen that movie?
Which one? Oh, Last Man Standing. Yeah.
There you are.
One last silly comment. The Apollyon reference in here was bothering me.
Yeah.
I was looking it up a little bit.
Yeah, look it up.
Oh, I did. No, I really was bothering me because I knew that name from someplace. It's from Pilgrim's Progress.
It's from Pilgrim's
Progress. He's the evil one, the army of the devil who fights Christian. I knew that name, and I was going, where did I know that from?
Yeah. I wonder where he got it from.
Yeah, can't imagine.
Yeah, like that.
There's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, but it is a Greek term that what did let's look it up. What was the
Following?
Apollyon? That was 8. Was that 8?
11. Oh, yeah, 9/11.
9/11. 9/11. So we'll look it up real fast. Let's see, let's share this. Okay, 9/11. Let's see if I can just. And let's not do that.
His name.
Come on. Let's get rid of the Pepto-Bismol ad. And so let's see.
It says he's the ruler of the abyss. He's oftentimes another name used for Satan. However, it's not the same person. He's probably considered one of the lesser.
So Strong's Concordance calls it a destroyer. Like that's, and so, and I think that's kind of the point of it is, and this is the only time it's used, like is right here in all of Scripture. So like he calls it a destroyer, and I think that's what the word literally means, but it sure sounds like that's, I heard an example of, what was it in Europe? There was a politician or something like that called Greg Locke or something like that. I can't remember. And it was a common phrase back around there that people said, "Don't get locked up."
Oh.
and so they're saying against that stuff. There's always like little clever things that come out around all that stuff, and I think that this is an example of that because it sounds there's too many references to things like that, and the fact that it says it in Hebrew and in Greek, and it goes out of the way in Greek to make sure you know what it sounds like.
Sounds like a ruler
Yeah.
that wants to be God.
Yeah. Exactly. So let's read 10 real fast. We're not going to get very far in it, but that's kind of what we've been doing. So like that's let's read 10. Let me make sure I got this thing all set and ready to go. All right. Whoop, wrong Zoom. I lost Pam. All right, share sound. All right, here we go.
Interesting.
I saw still another mighty angel coming down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was on his head. His face was like the sun, and his feet like pillars of fire. He had a little book open in his hand, and he set his right foot on the sea and his left foot on the land, and cried with a loud voice as when a lion roars. When he cried out, 7 thunders uttered their voices. Now when the 7 thunders uttered their voices, I was about to write, but I heard a voice from heaven saying to me,
Seal up the things which the 7 thunders uttered, and do not write them.
The angel whom I saw standing on the sea and on the land raised up his hand to heaven and swore by him who lives forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that are in it, the earth and the things that are in it, and the sea and the things that are in it, that there should be delay no longer. But in the days, the sounding of the 7th angel, when he is about to sound, the mystery of God would be finished, as he declared to his servants the prophets. Then the voice which I heard from heaven spoke to me again.
Go, take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel who stands on the sea and on the earth.
So I went to the angel and said to him, Give me the little book.
Take and eat it, and it will make your stomach bitter, but it will be as sweet as honey in your mouth.
Then I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it, and it was as sweet as honey in my mouth. But when I had eaten it, my stomach became bitter.
You must prophesy again about many peoples, nations, tongues, and kings.
Okay. Wait, like that. Cool. Yeah. Well, when I was lactose intolerant, it was ice cream.
No longer lactose intolerant?
No.
This strikes me as Jesus imagery.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
So is it using angel in everyone's translation?
Mighty angel?
Mighty angel.
Mighty angel?
Mighty angel.
All right, I want to look up
She's got a heavenly messenger.
heaven. Well, that's an angel. That's an angel. Like that.
If
That's
you're looking at that,
and
the
so-
word.
I have powerful angel in that other book too. Mighty angel,
that's
powerful angel.
okay. So that's probably what's going on. That's probably what's going on outside of it. Here, I'll just quick look. Let's see here, and that was chapter 10, right?
10, first verse.
Is it first verse?
I believe, yes.
10:1.
In the reference, it says go back to 5:2, and it says it's called a strong angel back there.
Yeah. So it's angel. It's Gelon, and so like that's a mighty messenger. That is, remember, angel means messenger.
With a rainbow over his head.
Yeah. The sun. Based
Yeah.
off the sun.
So what this also reminds me of is Exodus again. Now, do you remember off the top of your heads what? And I don't know if this does it actually reference this? It doesn't. What God looks like when Moses asked to see God, and Moses looks at God up on the mountain. It's a weird set of things, but God's feet are like pillars of glass and all this stuff, and it kind of has this. It seems like it's iridescent quality, like. But like I think you're seeing something good here, right? Like that's like the rainbow on his head and his face is like the sun and all that good stuff.
Promise too.
Yeah, the rainbow's the promise. So it's interesting that the rainbow shows up in the midst of all this destruction. And when things look so bleak and dark, like at the end of the flood.
At the end of the flood.
Yeah.
At the end of the destruction of all that he didn't keep.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, is like this isn't working. Okay. So I think that's kind of interesting that suddenly this rainbow shows up in this way, all this stuff. And also what's the number that we keep getting? We're done with 5s, we're done with like the thirds, like it's all these sevens again. It's all these sevens, like that they're around. And that's why I say these things are like emojis, you know, like you can see how they're being used. You know, it's like we have all these incomplete numbers over there, then all of a sudden the good thing shows up and we're given all these sevens all around. It's just kind of interesting, which is the interesting thing. Let's see here. It talks about creation there. I don't know. Did anyone have anything interesting to say about this? I didn't read this far.
I just, a comparison that I kind of made, when Jesus is walking on the earth, every time that it's almost revealed that who he is, the Son of Man, Son of God, he's always telling us, don't tell anybody. Yeah. And in this, the little book is brought forward, and the first thing he says, don't say anything yet. Seal that up. So just a comparison that I saw.
That's interesting.
ESV doesn't call it a little book, calls it a little scroll.
Yeah.
Little scroll.
In mine, I have both. I have book. I have the little book.
Little book and little scroll. Which little scroll would make sense because books had not been invented yet.
Yeah, right. It just happened this way.
Binding had not been invented yet.
Little iPad.
Yeah, the little iPad.
Simon and Schuster.
He had in his hand a little scroll open, and he said, "It's right foot upon the sea, and his left foot on the earth." That's true.
I have a small book.
Yeah.
I have a small book.
Yeah, I have a.
Yeah. Like that's, and I think you see why they translate it like that. But it's funny they didn't translate the other scrolls as books.
That's true, because I think the other ones are scrolls.
Yeah, they didn't.
From the hand of the messenger in English.
And I think that's actually a good thing for us to remember. Oh, you want to look at it? What verse is it?
Well, that one is in 10:2.
Yeah.
Yes, second verse in 10.
Yeah, it's 10:2.
Second verse, right at the beginning of it.
Yeah, I wonder why this book only has it, this particular Bible has it a book here, yet it's scroll back here.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean?
Game mode was turned on. Why?
Good job.
Why did this happen?
So we won't look
Ask
at
it too
that.
many things.
I'm not thinking anyone else in this room is gonna know.
Where were
Why
the
is that?
scrolls first? What, do you remember what verse they first started talking about the scrolls? Oh, here it is.
I don't know what happened, but I don't know why it happened.
See what I mean? I still use scroll back here. Different.
That's an idyllic way to end the lesson today.
No, it's great. Absolutely wonderful.
didn't have books back in those days.
Why would you call it a,
Well, maybe
scroll in one?
Some people don't
verse or
understand what a
chapter?
scroll is, so we put a book in there to make them understand it was something written down.
Yeah, but, you know, my point is they use both of those words instead of just using one or the other. Yeah.
Okay.
And-
It
It doesn't matter.
All right, so let me.
Because we are not supposed to know.
That's why we're here. Thank you.
Okay, so
That's
it's
a lot of
so
questions.
Oh, it's why?
little scroll, Bibli, like yeah. So it's basically Bible, right? Yeah. Yeah. Let the Greek guy like be able to pronounce this, like over there.
Take advantage of your resource.
So,
Yeah.
It's written upside down.
if it says Bible there, what does it say on the other one?
Well, it would
that
be.
says scroll?
It's the same thing as like what like it means scroll, but that's so that's why they translate it. That's why they translated it as a book though in the King James.
A little.
They're like, oh, Bible. So let's see. Let's find out how many times this word is used. Little book, little scroll. So 10, 9, like it's all right here in 10. Those are the 3 times it gets used. And that's why they translate it different. Because it is a different word, but
And it's a different word than
yeah.
in 10 than it was previously.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Throw out there, I know.
Yeah.
Could it be,
Oh, we had 2.
Could it
was
be,
scroll written on one side, it was called one thing, it was scroll written on both sides, it was called another word too, somewhere
Oh,
in
is
that,
it?
in some of the.
But if it's a little
commentaries.
book here, could it just be the New Testament?
Oh, I don't think so. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
I
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't
Maybe
know.
it was, maybe it was Luther's small catechism.
Yes, Luther's Small Catechism.
Whatever it is, it's not good for yourself.
Yeah, it's not good for
Can't
yourself.
read it yet, right?
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to throw that out there.
I don't know.
In a different,
It's a book holding your hand. That's what
Yeah, like a small thing. Not a big,
It's a small
it's
book.
not all the history, but
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
just a part.
It's Luther's Small Catechism. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
We'll know
Translates it.
someday.
It translates directly.
Okay.
That's what he did.
All right. We've gone off the rails. So
No
for everyone
thanks to you.
watching on YouTube, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for joining us.